The 2008 NBA season has begun on the 40-year sim. Welcome, I am Nutty Sports Gamer. We'll be checking out all 30 teams. We have no time to spare. This is a full hour video. Pau Gasol is now on the Lakers. I couldn't wait till the trade deadline. I gotta do it now. Turkoglu, Bruce Bowen, Sheldon Williams, Marcus Williams, and 2 first-round picks to the Raptors for Pau Gasol, folks. He is officially a Laker. They also got Ron Artest, still have Nick Van Exel, Udonis Haslem, Derek Fisher, Devin George. It's quite a starting five now, I think. Artest and Gasol, some defense, some size, some stars to pair with Kobe Bryant and Nick Van Exel, who in real life retired at this point. Still a very effective player, so why not? He's on the team for a relatively cheap deal. Wants to try to get a ring before he retires. You got Chris Mim as well, Nocioni, and some other guys. So this is going to be a very interesting team this season. They won 59 games last season. What can they do this year? Spurs, Mike Conley, Ben Gordon, Jalen Rose is now on the Spurs. Marcus Aldridge, Eddie Griffin, Jose Calderon, Stromile Swift, David Blumenthal, Brent Barry still kicking it, Luis Scola, Sean Livingston, Matt Barnes, here's the trades that they did. Scott Pollard and Dan Laggy went to the Raptors for Brett Barry, Matt Barnes, a couple seconds. Also, Jason Williams was traded to the Grizzlies for Luis Scola and Jalen Rose. Grizzlies got a top 10 protected pick out of that deal. Let's check some of this out. Kobe Bryant, how does he like his new teammates? He gets a layup there. Check him out. Getting past Ben Gordon to start things off. This is the first game of opening weekend 2008. Mike Conley, meanwhile, with a 3 to start off his hopefully illustrious NBA career. Kobe Bryant with the basket, just cooking Ben Gordon. Come on. What is Ben Gordon doing out there? Long 2 for Kobe there. Then we got Conley to Ben Gordon to Eddie Griffin to LaMarcus Aldridge, second year in the league, making a basket for the Spurs, tied at 6. Mike Conley, let's see how he fares against Nick Van Exel, trying to penetrate, makes the basket, and the Spurs briefly go ahead, and now it's tied. LaMarcus Aldridge manages to make a basket over Pau Gasol. Got Jalen Rose with the pull-up 3. And it's 14-8 early on in the first quarter. Nick Van Exel with an alley-oop to Kobe Bryant. Now it's 99-93. We're in the fourth quarter. Jalen Rose with the tray, making it a one-possession game with 3:15 left to go. Kobe Bryant, corner pocket, no good. But Haslem with the dunk. 101-96. Ben Gordon to Jalen Rose, who sinks the 3. 2-point game. Nick Van Exel to Kobe, makes the basket over Ben Gordon. How about Jalen Rose again? Another 3. The old man has a nice stroke from deep. And Nick Van Exel also showing he can still shoot it. Kobe Bryant hesitates, passes it to Van Exel. Can't make that shot. Rebound Aldridge. And with just over a minute left to go, Jalen Rose has the ball. And the Spurs are down by 1. He passes to Ben Gordon. Kobe with some tight defense. The screen, the jumper, count it. And the Spurs go up by 1 with 49 seconds left. Kobe to Artest to Nick Van Exel. 41 seconds left. Ron Artest with the basket to put the Lakers up by 1. Can the Spurs respond? Eddie Griffin with the pass to the wrong fella. Here's a basket by Kobe Bryant. It's over. What's with the stolen inbounds passes? 40 points for Kobe Bryant in this game. 21 and 13 for Nick Van Exel, 24 for LaMarcus Aldridge. Pretty solid game from Aldridge. Ben Gordon didn't do too hot. 6 for 15. And we're going to get a nice thumbnail. How are we feeling about a Mike Conley thumbnail? I mean, it definitely looks like Mike Conley, so that's a plus. It kind of looks like older Mike Conley, though, doesn't it? I feel like that's not rookie Mike Conley. But I'm not gonna. I'm not. I just can't. All right. I'm not gonna scour. Trying to find a rookie Mike Conley face. Pacers, Rajon Rondo, Michael Redd, Danny Granger is now in the Pacers. Al Horford, Mecca Okafor, Chucky Atkins, Jamal Crawford, Kerry Kittles, and Eaton Thomas. Yeah, the big news is Granger going to the Pacers. Troy Hudson's a backup point guard. He just wasn't getting the minutes on the Wizards that he could get here. Delonte West, Desmond Mason, Andre Kirilenko, Antoine Walker, Antonio Davis, James Posey, Tim James, Sean Bradley, Raymond Felton, J.R. Bremer, John Salmons, and there's the reserves for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Last season where they'll have that look. But yeah, so the Wizards trade away Danny Granger. They have Mike Miller starting at small forward, and he just wasn't quite fitting into that rotation. He should be a starter, is basically what I'm trying to say. And I think he fits better on this Pacers team. And he was a Pacer in real life, so that's always a bonus to me, because it'd be fun to see if his career could play it a little bit differently, because I know he had injury issues in real life, and he won't have injury issues this time around. Michael Redd making a basket for the Pacers to start things off. Kirilenko of the Wolves passing it to Mason for the jumper. Now we have Delonte West, who's starting for the Minnesota Wolves. Oof. And Mason makes that jumper. Minnesota Timberwolves. Should roll off the tongue easier than how I said it just before. Michael Redd, another basket. 7:10 left to go in the first quarter. And Redd missing. Okafor with the putback. And 6-4 early on. Antoine Walker to Kirilenko for 3. AK-47 unleashes from downtown. Michael Redd, meanwhile, also make it a 3. Let's see if we can see some more highlights later in the game. Feels like the Pacers are up by a substantial amount, but may we still want to jump into this just to check out some more highlights from these teams. I don't know how often we'll be seeing the Pacers. They might be pretty bad. I think we see them more in the next episode, though, because they have Al Horford. We got a dunk there by Antonio Davis. Yeah, the next episode, I'll be focusing on the rookies pretty exclusively. Desmond Mason making a 3 for the Wolves, 88-74. Rajon Rondo with the nice pass to Okafor. The basket, 90-74. Yeah, I'm hoping to see some nice creative passes from Rondo this season with the few times that we jump into Pacers games this year. 97-80, the final score. And 18-19 for Okafor. Rajon Rondo, I missed it. I missed it again. My eyes weren't reading fast enough what his stats were. But there's Rondo. That could be a nice thumbnail. Nets traded Andris Biedrins to the Kings for Marco Bellinelli in a bunch of seconds, actually. So Biedrins is going to be part of the Kings rotation. Bellinelli, I'm hoping to eventually have him develop into something, a rotational player at some point. Steve Nash, Damon Jones, Grant Hill, back to number 33. Amari Stoudemire, Thea Ratliff, Stephen Jackson, Brendan Haywood, Eddie House, JJ Barea, Mark Johnson. Bucks, you got Penny Hardaway, Manu Ginobili, Lau Deng, Dirk Nowitzki, Tyson Chandler, Foyle, Reeves, Mo Williams, JJ Redick, Sean Williams, C.J. Miles. They got some interesting young players coming off the bench. Obviously, Reeves is a vet. And two-time defending champs. Let's see how they do. There's a jumper. I think that was, that's Penny. 106-82, so we're jumping into the fourth quarter. Let's see if the Nets can mount some sort of comeback here. Steve Nash with the missed layup there. 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Penny Hardaway with the dunk. 108-82. Manu Ginobili with the miss. This is the Eastern Conference finals rematch. You would think Milwaukee would be full of fans, but there's a lot of empty seats. Got a alley-oop, Thea Ratliff, and a three-pointer there for the Nets. 108-87. You got Steve Nash to Grant Hill for the long two. Still looking good for his old age. And then we got Penny Hardaway almost losing the ball, missing. Chandler put back 110-89. Amari Stoudemire missing the shot. Penny Hardaway with the rebound. Penny will make that basket, making it a 23-point game. Yeah, that sounds about right. Nets still feels like the Nets aren't quite on the Bucks level, even though they have a really fun roster, a lot of great players. There's Grant Hill with a corner pocket long two. Let's just say that. Penny Hardaway from downtown. I mean, yeah, this Bucks team is just ridiculous still. Here's a nice dunk though for the Nets, and then Damon Jones to my God, Steve Nash. Penny Hardaway blocking that shot. He is looking for a third title, folks. Wow. 119-104. Penny Hardaway 27, 4 and 6. 26 for Dirk Nowitzki, 25 for Luol Deng. I mean, you can wonder, okay, let me shut up. Let's go over the rest of the trades, actually. David West and Chris Anderson are now on the Bobcats. Haddadi, Jason Smith, Gustavo Ayon, and a bunch of first-rounders going to the Sixers. You got Danny Granger going to the Pacers, like I just showed you. This is Wizards, Raphael Alston, Dante Jones, and a first-round pick for Raul Lopez. Isaiah Ryder going to the coming from the Pistons. You got Zerbiak, Kwame Brown, Will Bynum going to the Cavaliers for Joe Green and Al Harrington. God damn it. Jermaine O'Neal to the Kings. Andre Kirilenko, Delonte West, and a first-round pick going to the Wolves. Pau Gasol, we already know that one. Lamar Odom going to the Pistons for Kevin Garnett and a bunch of first-round picks. That's a big one. We'll talk about that later. Jason Williams, we know that one. Mike Bibby to the Jazz. That's a big one. Latrell Sprewell, Bruce Bowen, Boris Diaw going to the Grizzlies. I think that's it. There weren't that many trades, but there were some big ones. Big ones. So, yeah, Warriors, Bobcats. Bobcats now have David West. Bobcats trying to make a playoff push, but let's talk about the Warriors first. Jason Kidd, J.R. Smith, Anton Jamison, and Tony McDyess, Juwan Howard, who's declining, but he's a longtime Warrior. Don't want to let him go. Yarich, Tony Delk, Travis Outlaw, Danya Marshall, and Allen Henderson on the bench for the Warriors, who've been to the finals the last two seasons. We'll see if they can get back there and maybe actually win it. Bobcats, Darren Williams, Brendan Roy, Gerald Wallace, David West, and then you got Andrew Bogut. Really solid starting five. I like this starting five a lot. Rafe LaFreds, Chris Anderson, Michael Petrus, Dan Gadzuric, Omar Cook, DeJuan Wagner, Jan Mahimni in the reserves. Check out the Bobcats' new court. I like it. And here's a dunk by Andrew Bogut. Yeah, I like this court a lot. I forgot that they had something like this. David West with the dunk there. Like, I like the Charlotte Hornets as a franchise. You see a miss there. But this court is just pretty nifty. That's just all I have to say about that. Brandon Roy with the ball and the dunk. This Bobcats backcourt is going to be fun, at least until Darren Williams inevitably demands a trade to go to a bigger city. You know that's coming. That's what he did in real life, so we'll have to honor that, maybe. Jared Wallace, though, with the basket for the Bobcats, up 8-0. So they're off to a roaring start. Darren Williams with the miss there, but Bogut's right there for the putback. I can't believe Bogut was, when he was drafted, he was drafted 16th in the 05 draft. I couldn't believe that. Jason Kidd with a three for the Warriors. It's 11-5 now, about halfway into the first quarter. Brandon Roy with the ball at the wing. Nice pass to Gerald Wallace. He finishes, makes the basket. And the Bobcats are dominating early. Let's see if that sticks. Or are we going to have an interesting fourth quarter? It doesn't look interesting. Brendan Roy's having a great game, though. Let's check out more highlights. Got a basket there for the Warriors. Tony McDyess. Now J.R. Smith to Jason Kidd. Kidd posting up Brandon Roy and making the basket. 11-point game. How about Roy to Darren Williams, who's cold from the field. Bogut with a dunk. Reverse jam. 13-point game. Jason Kidd. The pass to Tony McDyess. 92-81. Brandon Roy. Will he continue his hot streak? David West gets the pass from Brandon Roy, makes the jumper. So now it's 94-81. Darren Williams misses. Bogut again with the basket and the foul. Bogut is coming alive. He has arrived. 104-93. 32 for Brandon Roy. And I'm telling you, this Bobcats team is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Thinking we'll be checking out more Bobcats games than maybe you would have thought. But, I mean, come on. They got Brandon Roy, Darren Williams. They got stars in Charlotte. So that's what's going on there. Let's check out Nuggets Wizards now. Both these teams have a few changes to their roster. Steve Francis, Jamison Brewer, LeBron James, Rashard Lewis, Brad Miller, God Shamgod, Reggie Evans, Jarrett Jeffries, Dika Dare, Deion Glover. Okay, the Nuggets didn't really have much changes. They kind of just ran it back. But the Wizards, Gilbert Arenas, Jerry Stackhouse, Mike Miller, Josh Smith, Yao Ming, Isaiah Ryder, Samaki Walker, Brian Skinner, Keith Kloss, Victor Griappa. Okay, they're not the craziest changes, actually. I don't know why I even said that. Rashard Lewis for 3 to start things off. 3-2 score early on. The Wizards have a new court. Looking pretty nice. It's 4-3 now after that basket. Here is Jamison Brewer to LeBron James. Hits the 3. And it's 6-4 early on. Gilbert Arenas passing it to Yao Ming, who makes the basket. Now Steve Francis gets the screen from Rashard Lewis and sinks the tray. 11-8. And now we have Jerry Stackhouse making a basket for Washington. LeBron James, guarded by Mike Miller. Feels like a mismatch. Pass it to Steve Francis, who is open. He makes the 3. 14-10. How about an alley-oop to Jerry Stackhouse? That looks good. Looks good to me. 14-12 now. Steve Francis. To Yao Ming in the post. And here's a basket. Yao Ming falling down. We got Steve Francis to, Brad Miller, who nearly loses the ball. The pass to LeBron James. He saves the play, makes the jumper. 91-88. It's a close game in the fourth quarter. Yao Ming missing that shot, but Stackhouse with the putback. It's a 1-point game. LeBron. Jumper. Good. Nuggets up by 3. Yao Ming to Josh Smith to Jerry Stackhouse. Stackhouse making the basket. Brad Miller to Steve Francis. Misses, but LeBron James is right there for the putback. And it's 95-92. Jerry Stackhouse to Josh Smith. And he's going to miss. Then make a basket too. 1-point game. Wizards up ahead. But there's a layup to Jamison Brewer. The Nuggets take the lead. Gilbert Arenas to Stackhouse. To Josh Smith posting up Rashard Lewis. He misses. And the Nuggets all of a sudden can add on to this 1-point lead. LeBron James with the pass to Rashard Lewis. Makes that basket. 99-96. Nuggets with the ball back. 40 seconds left. How about Steve Francis? Top of the key. Gets the screen. The pass to Brad Miller. Can't make the shot, but the Nuggets come away with the rebound. And we got an intentional foul. So LeBron James can seal this game. First free throw. Good. This might do it right here. And I think that's it. I think we're good here. We're good. Oh, my God. Wizards almost came back, though. 103-100. 31 for Steve Francis. What a nice game for Steve Francis. Good for him. Hawks, Pistons. Yeah, let's check this out. First Hawks, Chauncey Billups, Allen Iverson, Bobby Simmons, Tim Duncan, Nazir Muhammad. They're running it back, but they got new jerseys. I don't know if I like these jerseys. Let me know if you agree with me. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to change it. This is what they looked like back then, but I kind of like the previous jerseys more. Speedy Claxton, Raziel Butler, Jamie Fike, Maddox. Their bench isn't great. Pistons, Baron Davis, Katina Mobley, Deshaun Stevenson, Lamar Odom, Nenad Kristic, Rafer Alston, Trevor Ariza, Dante Jones, Kenny Thomas, etc. Yeah, let's check out this. How about a reverse jam to start things off? I think that was Lamar Odom. Now here's a corner pocket 3 by Baron Davis. Chauncey Billups to Bobby Simmons for a 3. I mean, Pistons don't have Kevin Garnett, but this team could make the play. They have a good playoff caliber roster still. I mean, this team could do some damage. I mean, they're kind of a middle of the pack Eastern Conference team, but still, they're not going to be terrible. Here's Kristic with the dunk, 7-3. And it feels like they have a bit more depth than the Hawks do, for example. We got Kristic with the basket, 9-3. Billups gets the screen, makes the tray, 9-6 early on. Baron Davis to Katino Mobley, making the jumper there to 11-6. I don't know why I included this little bit, but let's see where this goes. Chauncey Billups to Tim Duncan with the turnaround. Sigs that jumper. Deshaun Stevenson for 3. No, but Kristic. Look at Kristic go. Look at him. I'm going to have to look him up on YouTube. I know he played for the Nets in the mid-2000s. I don't really remember much about him. You know, was he good? I don't know. 102-79 is the final score. 26-16 for Tim Duncan. And we are moving on to New Orleans Hornets, New York Knicks. Can the Hornets be good, please? Can we finally get a good Hornets team? Sam Cassell, Dwayne Wade, Caron Butler, Keith Van Horn, Al Jefferson to starting 5, Trenton Hassel, Sam Dellenberre, Steve Blake, Charlie Villanueva, Lou Amundsen, Luther Head, and there's the rest. I don't know. I mean, I feel like they didn't make enough effective changes. We'll see. Meanwhile, the Knicks, they almost beat the playoffs last year. Kirk Heinrich, Quentin Richardson, Richard Jefferson, Chris Wilcox, Eddie Curry, Josh Childress, Earl Watson, Andrew Bynum, Joseph Forte, Jeff Green, and it's pretty much Andre Blatch is down there, Jordan Farmer, Chris Borchardt. I mean, the Knicks are building something kind of interesting, you know? I mean, with the Knicks, the game plan is 2010, that offseason. So I'm not trying to do anything too crazy with the Knicks until that big 2010 season rolls around. So if you're wondering why they're kind of like, why aren't we doing anything with the Knicks? I'm waiting. We're waiting. Playing the waiting game on that one. Keith Van Horn with a 3 for the Hornets, 5-0 is the score. Kirk Heinrich driving, passing it to Eddie Curry with the basket. Also, Eddie Curry has been really good for the Knicks. He's averaging like 15 or I think it's like 18 points per game. His field goal percentage is like 55%, so he's super efficient. Been a very good scorer for the Knicks. And there's a 3 for the Hornets, meanwhile. Kirk Heinrich gets the screen from Eddie Curry. And then the pass to Curry to Jefferson. Oh, man, here's a steal. Dwayne Wade with the layup. And the Hornets are up big early. Caron Butler to Dwayne Wade. Pulls up for the 3. No good. Got the rebound. I think that was Wilcox with the rebound. Richard Jefferson to Heinrich. Makes that basket. 12-6 early on. Check out the replay of Heinrich. Heinrich again. Passing it to Quentin Richardson. Eddie Curry with the putback dunk right there. Keith Van Horn from downtown. That rattles in. Favorable rattle there. Little 2K luck there. Now we got Eddie Curry making this shot over, I want to say Al Jefferson. Al Harrington? Al Harrington, right? Or Al Jefferson. Uh-oh. My brain. Keith Van Horn to Caron Butler, I believe. And that's a 3, 95-90. is the score. It's Al Jefferson. What was I thinking? Why did I think it was Al Harrington? Because they're both named Al? That's stupid. Richard Jefferson with the miss, and then we got the dunk by Eddie Curry. It's 95-92. Close game. Dwayne Wade to Keith Van Horn. It's a 5-point game now. Sam Cassell to Dwayne Wade to Al Jefferson. Not to be confused with Al Harrington. 99-92 and 192 actually now. Heinrich with the jumper, keeping the Knicks in the game. Heinrich to Q-Rich. To back to Heinrich. Nice moves there. Hornets with the ball. Sam Cassell gets blocked. Q-Rich comes away with the rock. Now here's Heinrich to Bynum for the dunk. It's a 2-point game. Heinrich to Q-Rich. Tries to drive. Back to Heinrich. And he will miss the shot, but Eddie Curry's right there to tie the game with that dunk. Cassell to Dwayne Wade. Makes that shot off glass. Pretty clutch. And here's a steal. A clutch steal by Dwayne Wade. And he's going to make that basket right there to make it a 4-point game. Do the Knicks have any magic left in them? Q-Rich to RJ to Heinrich. RJ gets the ball back. Misses the three, but Bynum with the putback. 104-102. Dwayne Wade to a wide open Sam Cassell. Yikes. He makes that three, and that might do it. Let's see if the Knicks can do anything. Heinrich. 35 seconds left to go. Pass to get to Eddie Curry. Double teamed. Wide open Heinrich. No. All right, I think now it's over. Now it's really actually over. So, final score 111-105, 23 for Dwayne Wade. And what is next? Do we get a little screenshot of Dwayne Wade? I think we just might. I think that's exactly what we're about to do. So there it is. Pretty dope. Although it's kind of far away. I don't know. Who's left? We got a bunch of teams left, actually. We got a long way to go. This is a long episode. This took me a while to edit, too. It took me a couple days to edit, which, it could be a drag. It could be a drag when it takes that long. Meanwhile, the following episode took me like an hour to edit. So it's just these opening weekend episodes, they get a lot of views compared to my other stuff, so I got to keep doing them. And plus, I like seeing all 30 teams, put them all together like this. Okay, Mavericks, Andre Miller, Vince Carter, Iguodala, Kurt Thomas, Shaq, Prigioni, Aaron McKee, Darius Miles. Also on the Mavericks, Prisbilla, backing up Shaq. Who else we got down here? Malik Rose. And then Tolliver's down here on the bench. Ryan Gomes. Suns, Tony Parker. Larry Hughes, Stojakovic, Chris Bosh, Dwight Howard, Nick Collison, Luke Ridnour. Did we already go over this? I'm feeling deja vu, but I could be mistaken. Derek Anderson, Adam Morrison. Am I nuts, or did we already do this? I think I'm just going crazy. I think that's just what's happening right now. Yeah, but there's the rest of the Suns. I think I am going crazy. Okay. Yeah, Phoenix, Dallas, let's do it. Pretty good matchup, actually. Andre Miller for three. No. But Shaq dunks it. 2-0 to start things off. Larry Hughes to Chris Bosh, who makes the long two. Vince Carter to Shaq, getting blocked by Dwight Howard. That's a little embarrassing. I'm sure Shaq doesn't feel too great about that. Yikes. We know that Shaq has always had a problem with Dwight Howard. And Dwight Howard is showing the kind of beast that he is in 2008. Meanwhile, Chris Bosh makes the basket over Andre Miller. Vince Carter missing the jumper. Chris Bosh with the rebound. And here come the Suns. Bosh for three? No. But Dwight Howard gets the rebound and makes the basket. Dwight Howard's really coming along. Still a very young player. Here's a basket by Andre Miller for the Mavericks. Vince Carter up against Larry Hughes. He passes it to Iggy. Now to Andre Miller under the basket. Tie game early on. Chris Bosh make it a basket for the Suns. Check out the replay. Chris Bosh with a nice pass right here. No, never mind. What am I thinking? Oh, God. All right. Vince Carter to Shaq. He misses. Nice defense by Dwight Howard. Now here's Chris Bosh with the alley-oop to Dwight Howard. Center to center action. It's not fair. Vince Carter, meanwhile, misses. Shaq with the putback. 7-12. Shaq making that basket over Tony Parker. 12-10. How about a pass to Chris Bosh with a layup? 91-84. We're in the fourth quarter now. Tony Parker with the alley-oop to Dwight Howard. Just killer. Absolutely killer. Vince Carter, meanwhile, misses. Shaq with the putback. And it's a 7-point game. Now it's 93-88. Andre Miller decides to pass it to Vince Carter. Back to Miller. And to Carter with the dunk. 95-88. Larry Hughes make it a basket. So still a pretty close game from two kind of juggernauts in the West. They're turning into juggernauts. Iguodala with a basket for the Mavericks. We got Tony Parker to Larry Hughes. Makes that jumper with 5.5 left to go. How will the Mavericks respond? How about a tip in there by Vince Carter? Stojakovic to Chris Bosh with the jumper. Can the Suns stop the Mavericks, though? Iggy. Basket. 5-point game. Mavericks ball. Iggy long two. Count it. So the Mavericks maintain a 7-point lead and get the ball back. Vince Carter. Blocked by Dwight Howard. But Iguodala will miss. Shaq with the putback dunk. And that would be the story. The Mavericks win 116-104. The Suns hung in there. 33-21 for Shaq, by the way. 27 for Vince Carter. The Suns hung in there, but ultimately they couldn't stop the Mavericks offense. And there's a nice shot of Shaq. Moving on to the next game. Bulls versus Magic. Chicago versus Orlando. Stephon Marbury, Michael Finley, Glenn Robinson, Sean Marion, Eric Dampier is the starting five for Orlando. You got Tony Allen, William Avery, Lamont Reed, who I believe is a generic, Johan Petro, Pavlovich, and then you got some reserves down there. On the Bulls, you got Jay Williams, Jason Richardson, Shane Battier, Zebo, Marcus Camby, Austin Crozier, Barbosa, Ron Mercer, Ty Lue, Thabo Cephalosha, Jim McIlvain, etc. So those are the rosters. Bulls made the playoffs second round last year. Magic almost beat the Bucks, isn't that right? They almost beat the Bucks in the first round, but it couldn't quite do. Let's see what these two teams do this season. First, of course, they gotta face each other in the first game of the season, and you got a nice reverse dunk by Jason Richardson. That was an awkward transition, but I think I pulled it off ultimately. Jay Rich for three. That's good. So he's still showcasing his ability to shoot from beyond the arc and his ability to have some monstrous dunks. Sean Marion making a basket for Orlando early on in the first. Jason Richardson with a jumper, shooting for everywhere in this game. Marbury to Big Dog. That's a miss. Eric Dampier with a dunk, and it's 10 now. Jay Williams with the ball at the wing. A nice toss-up to Jason Richardson, who makes the basket. 12-10 now. There's the score. Ball gets stripped from Jay Rich. Marbury comes away with it. The pass to Finley. The basket to tie the game. You know, this Magic squad, bunch of guys in their early to mid-30s, but they're still talented. As you see, another basket by Jay Rich, I believe. He's really been crushing it early on in this game. Stephon Marbury sinks what would be a three. I thought that might have been a long two, but I guess his feet were behind the line. Let's see if we're going to be checking out more of this game. No, we're not. 101-79 is the final score. Magic win. Let's move on to Blazers versus Kings. What did these two teams do in the offseason? Well, the Kings made a pretty big trade. Jermaine O'Neal is now in Sacramento. You get Chris Paul, Vashawn Leonard, Camille Anthony, Jamal Magloire, Andris Biedrins. You got Brian Cardinal coming off the bench. And let's see who's behind him. Maurice Evans, Keon Dooling, Tony Dumas, and then these guys down below. Nate Robinson, trying to get him into a rotation, hopefully, whether it's going to be on the Kings or he gets traded elsewhere. But he's here. He's around. And I hope he gets a kidney replacement, right, in real life. I hope everything works out for him in that department. Damon Stoudemire, Richard Hamilton, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Rasheed Wallace, Tony Batty is the starting five for the Blazers. Not much change there. Sasha Vujacic, Jonathan Bender coming off the bench, Terrence Rencher, Jason Hart, Paul Millsap, Joakim Noah. They're getting some minutes at least, trying to integrate them into the rotation. Eventually they'll be starters, I would assume. Chris Paul making a basket for Sacramento. As you can see, the new court for the Kings. It was time for a change. Rip Hamilton making a three for Portland. 5-2. Carmelo Anthony is going to drive. Missed the shot. Abdul-Rahim with the rebound. Here's a pass. Stoudemire driving, passing it to Tony Batty for the dunk. 7-2. Damon Stoudemire dribbling the ball, passing it to Rip Hamilton, who's wide open for the jumper. Now we got Chris Paul throwing it up to Carmelo Anthony for the alley-oop. That is what you want to see from those two for sure. Now Anthony receives another pass from Chris Paul and drives for a basket. How about Rip Hamilton with a jumper? So some nice offensive displays from both teams. Will that continue on? Sorry, I got the windows open because it's hot in here. Kings might win this game 108-90. Camilo Anthony with 29 points. Jermaine O'Neal, we didn't really see much. He didn't really do much, but he had a good game. Just didn't really get to see it, which is a shame. Have I ever actually used Chris Paul for a thumbnail? I can't remember if I did. Maybe when he was a rookie. So, but you know what? Maybe I'll use him again. It's very obvious that it's him. I like it when you could very clearly tell that's definitely Chris Paul. Sometimes it's not that odd. Like Rasheed Wallace in 2K does not look like Rasheed Wallace in real life. Reggie Miller, same thing. Okay. The Heat, Jason Terry, Marquise Daniels, Corey Maggette, Chris Webber, Zdrunas Ilgauskas, Morris Peterson, Greg Ostertag, Ronnie Rogers, TJ Ford, and Lou Williams. Lou Williams was part of the rotation there in Miami. I hope he's as good off the bench here in this sim as he is in real life. You got Smush Parker as well, and Thaddeus Young in the reserves. Kyle Lowry and Kevin Martin for the Cavaliers starting for them, while Zerbiak, Vin Baker, Greg Oden, Carlos Delfino, Kwame Brown, Will Bynum, Eddie Gill, Jacques Vaughn, Andre Varejao still on the bench, Marcin Gortat as well. Okay, so that is the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know, they're still, well, you know, the big news with them is Greg Oden. Let's see how he does in his debut, as we see a jumper there for the Heat. Chris Webber making a jumper over Kyle Lowry. Wally Zerbiak with the pass to Vin Baker. Makes that basket. Vin Baker's number 42 because, or no, he's number 11 because number 42 is retired on the Cavaliers. I think Nate Thurman previously wore that number. So now it's 4-2. Kyle Lowry to Kevin Martin to Vin Baker for the basket. 4-4 tie. How about Kyle Lowry to Baker again in the post? Missing. Then making the basket, drawing the foul. Baker to Zerbiak. And Zerbiak is going to pass it to Kevin Martin for the tray. That's what you expect to see out of Kevin Martin. Nice to see Kevin Martin following in Reggie Miller's footsteps as the hopefully he does. Making a lot of shots from deep. As we see, it's 14-7 now as the score. Greg Ostertag to Corey Maggette to Chris Webber. Getting blocked by Vid Baker. So far, Greg Oden has been quiet. I think he's already on the bench, which is not great. You got Kyle Lowry at the wing. Screen. Three-pointer, no good. Ostertag with the rebound. Still 14-7. Chris Webber will make the basket, draw the foul. Now it's 79-70. 9 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Ilgauskas to Chris Webber in the post. Webber makes the basket off glass, making an 11-point lead for the Heat. Kevin Martin got to make a decision. He decides to drain a three, so that was a nice choice. Jason Terry passing it to Ilgauskas. He passes it to Chris Webber for the dunk. 10-point game. Wally Zerbiak had the ball. Now Vin Baker has it. Here's Greg Oden. Come on. Yeah, there we go. I said you're, and I'm sticking with it. Greg Oden. Way to go. Okay. Webber, guarded by Baker. Kind of a wild shot attempt. Does make the basket eventually after getting a rebound, and that's about it. Greg Oden didn't really show us much. 92-87, 28-14 for Vin Baker, 19-19 for Chris Webber. But yeah, hopefully we see more from Oden in the following episode. Until then, here's a nice shot of Greg Oden in the post with a mean look on his face. Is it mean or just really focused? I'll say he's just really focused right now. And then you got Jason Terry behind him, trying his darndest to guard this rather big dude. So, all right, Sixers, Celtics is the next game. You got Sebastian Telfair, Raja Bell, Rudy Gay, Joe Smith, Lorenzen Wright, Vladimir Radmanovich, Hamed Haddadi, Drew Gooden, Wilson Chandler, Royal Ivy, Jarrett Jack. That's the rotation. In the reserves, anyone interesting in the reserves? Carlos Williamson, I don't know. Celtics, Jamal Tinsley, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett debuting for the Celtics. Brian Grant, Ed Gray, Vincent Yarbrough, Rodney Buford, Scalabrini, Cedric Simmons. The bench is not all that. But, hey, Kevin Garnett now in the Celtics. Celtics should be treated as serious championship contenders. Let's see Lorenzen Wright dunking the ball for the Sixers to start things off here. Rudy Gay can't make the shot there, but Wright will make a basket eventually. Paul Pierce, guarded by Rudy Gay. Shot clock winding down, and the basket is good. Gives Boston its first point of the game. Jamal Tinsley dribbling, passing it to Paul Pierce. He misses the shot. Kevin Garnett, there is his first points. There are his first points as a Celtic. Meanwhile, Sebastian Telfair makes a three for the Sixers. Ray Allen with the pass to Tinsley. Drains the jumper. 7-6 early on. Tinsley again, another jumper from him. 8-7. You got Paul Pierce for three. No, but Kevin Garnett throws it down with authority after getting the rebound. Now you got Lorenzen Wright making a basket over Ray Allen. 58-57, 4.5 left to go in the game. Rudy Gay making a basket for Philadelphia. A true low-scoring affair here in Boston at the Garden. You got Sebastian Telfair with the jumper, making it a 61-58 game. Telfair again? Yes, sir. And the Sixers go up by 5. Paul Pierce lays it in for the Boston Celtics. Now here's Telfair. Ooh. Ball finds its way to Lorenzen Wright, who makes the dunk. So the Sixers hanging on to that lead. And Telfair with a three, making it an 8-point game. And that's it. 76-75 is the final score. Really low-scoring game. Boston with only 65 points. They I mean, they shouldn't have that many problems figuring out how to score, right? I mean, but there's Garnett. That'll probably be the cover of this video, actually, now that I think about it. It's pretty obvious that's what it should be. But yes, he's moved on from Detroit after several playoff disappointments, hoping that in Boston he can do what he was unable to do in Detroit. Clippers got Devin Harris, Eddie Jones, Jamal Mashburn, Matt Bonner, Alonzo Mourning, Robert Churchwell, Kendrick Perkins, Earl Boykins, Tyrus Thomas, Martell Webster, Ramon Sessions is not even in the rotation. I'm sure that'll change at some point, but yuck. They're playing the Wizards. Clippers won't be very good, and I don't think we'll be checking them out very often. Despite having Eddie Jones and Jamal Mashburn, I like those guys, but they're definitely up there in age. I'm pretty sure in real life they weren't even in the league at this point. Alonzo Mourning dunked the ball, 88-76 is the score. The Wizards, Gilbert Arenas. Always fun to watch this team. We already saw them, but why not see them again? Gilbert with a jumper there, 90-76 is the score. You got Mashburn, jab stepping, making this shot for the Clippers. Gilbert Arenas to Jerry Stackhouse, the alley-oop. Now it's a 14-point game. Jamal Mashburn getting blocked by Yao Ming, but Devin Harris is right there for the three. 92-81. 6:20 left to go. Jamal Mashburn to Eddie Jones for three. No good, but Yao Ming is there for the rebound. And now you got a pass to Stackhouse. The basket is good. 94-83 is the score. Gilbert Arenas with the tray. Rattles in, and his bench is excited about that. Alonzo Mourning to Jamal Mashburn. Mashburn with the pull-up jumper. He sinks it. It's 97-85. 4:15 left to go. Devin Harris passing it to Alonzo Mourning in the post. Mourning over Yao Ming. No good. Josh Smith with the rebound. Now here's Josh Smith. Now he's going to pass it or decide to shoot it. He decides to shoot it, and that was a good choice. This game is over. Clippers never really were in it. 106-87. But that might be the only Clippers game we watch this season. There's just no reason to tune in to the Clippers. Spurs Rockets. Let's check this out. Checking out the Rockets roster: Brevin Knight, Trace McGrady, got Tim Thomas, Elton Brand, Ben Wallace in the starting five. Malik Allen coming off the bench. Drew Coles as well. Drew Coles on the Rockets, he's a generic. Lamont Reed on the Magic, he's a generic. I don't know. I mean, I promise I'll only keep it to like 2 or 3. I don't know what I don't know. Charlie Ward, Shannon Anderson on the bench too. Has a Pachulias in the reserves. Yeah, I guess as long as they stay. As long as guys like Drew Cole stays at around an 80 overall, as long as none of them take over the league, and as long as we don't see them on the court, as long as there's just a handful of them, then I'm not going to obsess over getting rid of them. I think they just kind of slip through in the draft or something like that in these user-created drafts. So I just kind of roll with it at this point. Just trying to. I already do a lot to get these seasons ready, so I am kind of loosening up my standards a little bit. As we see Jalen Rose missing a 3 for the Spurs. 6-4 is the score. Toyota Center. Ben Wallace with the reverse dunk. 8-4. Got Jalen Rose with the 3, making it 8-7. Now here's Wallace to Trace McGrady, who sinks the tray. Ben Gordon passing it to the wrong team. Brevin Knight with the alley-oop to Ben Wallace. And now it's 91-86. We're in the fourth quarter. Close game, 2-possession game. Tim Thomas to Trace McGrady. Sinks the 3. 94-86. 3 minutes left. Trace McGrady to Ben Wallace for the dunk. And that's it. 109-96. Didn't really see much from Mike Conley, unfortunately. He had 12 points. LaMarcus Aldridge also didn't really do much, which sucks. Mike Bibby, Joe Johnson, Tayshaun Prince, Kenyon Martin, Chris Kaman, Wang, Gigi, Tuna Davis, oh my God. Whatever. That's the roster. Just pause and read the names. I am losing it 50 minutes into this video. Mike Bibby making a 3 for the Jazz. Now it's an 89-89 tie. Got Tayshaun Prince with the rebound. How about a pass to Bibby for the basket? 91-89. Chris Kaman missing. Jamal Magloire with the rebound. The Kings, we just saw them. And we're seeing Chris Paul getting blocked. Magloire passing it to Carmelo Anthony, who makes the jumper. Tie game. Carmelo Anthony trying to drive against Tayshaun Prince. Can't make the basket. Chris Kaman with the rebound. And now we got Joe Johnson to Tayshaun Prince, who makes the basket. 93-91 is the score. Chris Paul at the top of the key. Passes it to Carmelo Anthony. Who passes it to? I think that's Rashawn Leonard for the 3. Sorry, I'm getting tired. We got another 3 for Rashawn Leonard, 97-93. How about a nice basket by Mike Bibby? Antonio Daniels handling the ball. Basket to Mike Bibby. With 3.5 left to go. Mike Bibby in the paint, guarded by Chris Paul. Nowhere to go. Passes to Daniels for 3. That was a place to go. That was the right place to go. So now the Jazz are up by 1. Tayshaun Prince can't hit that shot, but Kenyon Martin gets the putback, and the Jazz are up by 3 all of a sudden. Joe Johnson, ISO Joe. Let's see some ISOing for once. Here we go. Here we go. That's what I want to see. Yes. ISO Joe actually living up to his nickname in this sim, at least. Carmelo Anthony making a basket for the Kings. Tayshaun Prince. He's going to drive. He's going to miss that shot. Kenyon Martin, though, dunks it with authority. And this game is over. 108-101, the Utah Jazz do manage to beat the Kings, despite the triple-double from Carmelo Anthony, which mighty impressive, although he was not efficient scoring from the field. Cavaliers versus Grizzlies. Let's check out the Grizzlies roster. Carlos Arroyo, Latrell Sprewell, Bruce Bowen, David Lee, Dene Hilario. You got Jason Williams, White Chocolate, Boris Diaw, Marc Gasol, Chris Duhon, Josh Howard. Monte Ellis finally part of a rotation. The plan is to eventually have him start for the Grizzlies. I'm almost positive Sprewell's going to retire. He's on his last legs. But I figured, well, we'll let him finish out his career as a starter as long as he's performing well. Greg Oden making a basket for Cleveland. Really be nice to see him do more of that. Let's see if we get more Greg Oden highlights. Oden making the basket, drawing the foul. That's good. That's what we want to see. How about a rebound by Nene? Misses and then makes the basket. 6-5 early on. Carlos Arroyo is going to miss that shot for the Grizzlies, but a steal and a basket puts the Grizzlies up by 3. 7.5 left to go in the first. Nene, guarded by Zerbiak, makes the basket. And now we have Carlos Arroyo passing it to Latrell Spree for 3. No good. And now here is Kevin Martin with the dunk. And I don't know how much more I want to watch this. It's just, I mean, unless Greg Oden's like dominating, that's the Grizzlies, folks. I don't know, man. They're okay. Oh, are we gonna watch more? Maybe a little bit more? No, we're not. 113.92. We're 55 minutes into this video. Can we all agree we got to move on? We got to move on from this. 22-17 and 6 from Vin Baker. Hawks Supersonics. Did we already see the Hawks? I feel like we did. Did we already see the Supersonics? Who haven't we seen yet? I'm not even sure. It's been so long now. I've actually recorded this episode on 2 different days, so I really don't remember. Jameer Nelson, Bonzi Wells, Kevin Durant debuting for the Sonics. That's exciting. You can tell because of my voice. I've raised my voice. Al Harrington, Andre Bargnani, Marvin Williams, Kenny Anderson, still around. Mehmet Okur. I think it's Okur. Randy Foye, Jason Capono, Chris Humphreys, or is it's Capino, right? Okay, 9-2. We got to steal, and we got Jameer Nelson with a layup. So it's 9-4. How about a made 3 there by Bobby Simmons, I believe. 80-74 now is the score. Sonics wearing their yellow jerseys. This might be one of the last times we see the Sonics. So might as well see them in yellow. We'll see them more often in the next episode, actually. And then that's probably it. Allen Iverson with the jumper for Atlanta. 82-77 now is the score. 2.5 left to go. Jameer Nelson with the ball. Making the tray. 82-80. Allen Iverson with the pass to Chauncey Billups. And now Duncan with the ball. Now Bobby Simmons for 3. No good. Tim Duncan, though, with the putback. So now it's 84-80. Jameer Nelson will miss that shot. Rebound Duncan. A minute left to go in this game. Would really love to see Kevin Durant do something. But we have a dunk by Allen Iverson instead. That's pretty cool. I promise we see a lot more Kevin Durant in the next episode, and he does deliver. Let's see if he does something here, right? Let's see. He's got the ball in his hands. That's a start. Here's a 3. No, that was like a Dirk Nowitzki type jumper, and he missed. Bobby Simmons, meanwhile, making a layup. And this game is over. 90-82 is the final score. 24 for Iverson. And do we even have a Kevin Durant screenshot from this game? I guess we do. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a cool shot. It's nice to get a nice shot of Kevin Durant as a Sonic because, as we all know, he won't be there very much longer. Okay, Terrell Brandon, Ricky Davis, Hedo Turkoglu. This is the Raptors. Carlos Boozer, Scott Pollard, Mike Dunleavy, Kyle Korver. Who else is on this team? Dan Lange, Hilton Armstrong, Eric Snow, Marcus Williams, Channing Frye. Okay, they're facing the Miami Heat, who we saw not too long ago. Ricky Davis missing a shot. Scott Pollard with the putback to make it 8-2 early on. Pass to Chris Webber leads to a miss, a rebound, and a basket. 10-2, Miami up early. Jason Terry with a long 3 from downtown. Oh, man. Ricky Davis with a jumper from uptown. Chris Webber missing. Raptors. The fast break. Terrell Brandon, 38-year-old or 37-year-old Terrell Brandon making a layup in the fast break. He's still got legs. He still has a motor. Ricky Davis, meanwhile, with the jumper for Toronto, where it's in the fourth quarter all of a sudden. 70-65. We got another low-scoring affair. Marquise Daniels missing the shot. Ilgauskas with the dunk. It's a one-possession game. Even slimmer of a lead now for the Raptors. Ilgauskas makes a basket, and the Heat take over the lead. So we see a nice replay of Ilgauskas calling for the ball, getting the pass, and making the basket. 71-70, and we got the Heat with the ball back. Jason Terry making that jumper for the Heat. 73-70. This video is about to end because I have no time to properly wrap it up. Here's a miss. Here is the Heat. Let's see how they close this out. Chris Webber. The alley-oop to Corey Maggette. And that's the end of this episode, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe. Next episode focusing on the rookies primarily and some second-year players. You're going to want to watch that one. Thank you very much.